And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the stream here. I certainly hope you guys are doing great today, because I'm not doing too bad myself. Happy Friday, everybody. We're playing Factorio Friday today. The game's still loading up. That's why I'm kind of looking at it right here. But it's almost ready to go, and we'll be in there here shortly. Go ahead and just pop the game open there. There we go. So we got the loading screen here. What are we going to be doing today? That's a good question, because I don't remember what... I do remember a little bit what we were doing. We were working on our nuclear power. And I know we had started working on a new iron producing facility over here. We were also working on getting some actually speed or level 2 speed modules. I don't think we got any. I mean, we had a couple of them. We put them in our centrifuges. But I think we were having issues with something else. It might have been these guys, the advanced circuitry. The problem with the advanced circuitry is that we're missing these green chips. Well, sort of. I don't think we're just producing enough of them. That's kind of the issue. And so I've been thinking about what can I do to improve this. Well, it looks like we might need to, number one, work on our copper production. Because you see here, these guys aren't actually producing a lot of copper anymore. I mean, we do have quite a bit of copper coming in, but unfortunately there's not a lot of copper going out. So I think what we need to do today is come up here. Let's mine this rock out. I'm thinking right in here, we actually start doing the electrical furnaces that hopefully produce a bit more of that, a bit more of the copper itself. So hopefully we can get some of the, we get more plates going, we can hopefully get some more of this stuff going. And I actually might redo some of this, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it quite yet, but I actually have maybe 4 or 5 of these going to feed all these machines here, and even actually down here as well. So right now I don't think we can produce these guys, because while we do have some advanced circuits, we don't have a lot left. And we did have an advanced circuit machine here, but we had to remove it. So, well, I think that's what we're going to start with today. We're actually still researching nuclear power, and so that's going to be kind of another big goal of ours, but we were kind of running short because our production of it was actually kind of, or production of the blue beakers were kind of low, and was not going too great. So I think providing more copper, and because if you look here, our iron production is through the, I mean, it's actually starting to slow down a little bit over here. That's amazing, because that's what I wanted to see. Because that means we're producing more iron than we need. I think we should do the same for copper. So the first thing I wanted to do was look that we had at one point. I don't know if we still have it up. I don't think we did, because I think it was right here. So we did have a place that was producing the furnaces for us. That was actually rather useful too. We should get that back up. We do have 2 already. So we can at least lay out our copper area before we, I can still actually build some of these pretty quick, but the advanced circuits is what's going to take forever and a day. So here's what we're going to do. Number one, I'm going to actually reroute this power line here. Actually, I can just go ahead and rip these up because they don't serve any purpose at all. Same with over here. Now these I won't worry about. So I always start it here. I think this is a good little spot we can start in. Where is that? It's up at the Northern Iron Fields. They really don't like those Northern Iron Fields for some reason. Now, what kind of the nice things about these are is we don't have to feed them with coal. So at least there's that. We don't need some of the fast inserters, but we have plenty of the regular inserters, or we have plenty of something else. And we should be fine on those. There and there, and then we'll need an out, so we'll need 2 more of those. By the way, if you guys are curious, I'm not drinking out of my usual glass. I'm drinking just out of a coffee mug. When I was down at Disney, there is a place in downtown Disney called the Spice. I think it's called the Tea Exchange, if I'm not mistaken. And I actually got some tea from there that I wanted to try, so I figured I would try it on stream. This is called Florida Sunrise. Let's give it a try here. Actually, it's got a lot of citrus. It's very citrusy and it got some spice to it. Actually, not too bad. Probably won't be drinking as much of it, but it's still a pretty good thing. And it's something a little more. It's a little more. I don't know, a little more high end than what I usually drink, which is, it's fine. You know, I'm still drinking tea. That's what the main part is. So what I'm thinking here. It's going to run smack dab right into this coal plant. So, wondering if I actually can reverse this. Hold on. While I think that'll work, I think what I'm going to do is actually pull from this side. So I actually want to reroute this entire belt. To about there, and then actually turn it and bring this straight up. Essentially, I'm just moving the belt over. I'm not really making it longer or shorter, but I'm just rerouting this belt over to here, and that way I can actually pull here to there and there. Pull those out, and so now they're kind of more, it's almost in line now with the old one, and then now I can use the old infrastructure still for these copper plates. Although this is what's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. What is this? Okay, this is going up to our uranium refinery. What I think we might just need to do is cut it off like that. Ooh, that kind of sucks, because that doesn't leave me a lot of room. I kind of wish we could actually extend underground conveyor belts. That'd be a lot nicer. I really have nowhere else to put that. I mean, I guess I could redo this, and well, I think I can make that work. There we go. And then this does not have to come up this way anymore. And then we can bring this underground from to there. Another one to there, and then the last one to there. So that gets us through where we were, and then there we go. Pretty simple. Now we can have, we have our full clear line here. Although I do realize that this is pretty much where the drop-off for these are, so really we need to move all this over by one. Which we can eventually when we get the coal out of here. So what I'm going to do actually is going to redo these. I'm going to actually put, I'm going to clear this line off. Eventually, I think what we're going to do is bring the kind of the supply for the copper over to there. And once we get rid of the coal, because once we get the electric ones in here, the copper ones won't really matter as much anymore, so we can actually do that. That won't be too big of a deal. We can actually shift all these over then. There we go, and then put these there and there. Put the power back. And we need to move these again. Unfortunately, I really didn't have a plan for this, and this is kind of my trial and error right now to see what will and won't work. And seems like that will work. And so essentially the plan is we'll rip this up, or we can even turn these, rip these up, and then we can put electrical ones down through here, then we can keep our copper line just straight down like that. I think that might be the easiest way to do this. So let's go ahead and complete this line here. Like that, so we get copper flowing from up here now. Now we have to worry about actually trying to build more of the furnaces. And it's the advanced circuits that are kind of worried about, because I have all the components for them. It takes... Well, actually, hold on. I have all the components right here. Well, I need the copper cables, which I can actually build from these things. So I'm wondering if we actually should just start a smaller production facility here, just for... Any more? Doesn't look like it. For the just for the sole fact of trying to actually build more copper wiring or more advanced circuits, so we can build more furnaces and things like that. Because really, I can do the rest of it. The rest of it's not that hard. So if we get one like that, we'll need an inserter. So that inserter will go to there, so this can produce copper wiring. And so we've got the copper wiring now. Now we need to get copper wiring and the iron plates. So we'll need to get that to there. We get power to it as well. So let's grab some power lines here. We'll need one out and one in. I'll just run it to there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to redo that so I can actually have the inserters working on this side. Actually, can I... Maybe I can do this. That will work. And then that'll cover that exit there. And I could do one there. That goes in there. That goes out. No, that's not what I wanted to do. That one goes out. I have another one. I thought I did. Alright, well, maybe not. That one goes in. This one creates the basic circuits. So now we have the basic circuits. What do we need? I think we need the plastic for those. And then getting plastic over here might be a bit of a pain in the butt. I mean, we could. That's a lot of effort. And let's see here. Or do we just grab a bunch of plastic and put them into a bin like we usually do? We can do that. Alright, so we'll need an out. And that out will probably just go right into the other one, so it can be an in-out. So I'm not really too concerned about that. We'll need another power supply. Probably right there will work. So that'll go to there. And then, come on. Taking its sweet time to there. And then we can put our advanced circuitry there. Also going to need more copper wiring. That's what I could do. Run that like that. And bring this in. It's also going to need a little bit of power. I think I can do that, actually, and get power going to that. So now we just need the plastics going to it, which, what I guess I could do, put, it's going to have to be on this side, isn't it? Put it on that side, and then get an inserter. You'll see my genius here in a moment. Put that there. I'll need power to it. So that'll probably work better. Now, if I run down here, I don't know if I have... Oh, I do have a bunch of plastic on me. If I put this plastic in this chest now, I'll put it on that side of the conveyor belt, and then we can process it here. And I think that will work out just fine. We'll need one more just for the out. Put the advanced circuits over here. Alright, so now we have at least a basic version of the advanced circuitry. That'll take us a little longer to get going, but I think once we get it going, we'll be fine. So the advanced circuits is what we're kind of having issues with. We have the stone block, we have plenty of stone blocks, and we have the steel plates. So once we get these up and going, we'll be just fine. So, that being said, do we want to, see, I really don't want to start cutting this stuff out until we get more of these up and going. Which, I mean, really all we'd have to do is create another crafter and create a chest and a inserter, we can actually get another automated process going for these things. Probably would not be the worst idea in the world. Let's do it. Just because then we can go off and do other things and not have to just wait around here, and we can have a bunch of these furnaces really being built. I mean, that's kind of what we did last time, so... And it worked out pretty well. And we can stop it at any time, too, so it's not like it's something we're locked into. Right there. And this thing's going to create furnaces. And we'll leave one more inserter. Do we have the chest? I do have the chest. Get attacked again. Down south more. We might, I think this episode also, I think we're going to have to go out a little bit and look for some enemy camps and things like that. Because it seems like they're getting a little more persistent with their attacks. And I don't like it. So I think we'll have to... oh, we're making another fuel cell. Alright. Always good to see. I'm going to go grab some more steel, because I am running a little low on it. Actually, down here. So plenty of steel. And then, so what was I need the chest, and I need that thing. Look at that, we've already got 2 electric furnaces going. So we'll need an out. There. And out. So this will continue as fast as it can go. And it's going to be somewhat slow anyways because of the advanced circuitry, kind of what it needs. But it should work just fine then. I'm going to need actually 1 more of those. So then we can at least get 4 smelters going. Now, unfortunately, it won't be kind of included in the actual creation of this stuff, but that'll be okay at least. Let's see here. Inserters, so we need 2 there and there, 2 out. We'll need some more power. There we go. We might have to start working on getting some more copper mines going too, because I mean, we have 6, but let's see, get our buggy out of the way here. Because right now, we're producing quite a bit of copper, but there's not very much getting down here anymore. That's a bit of an issue. So let's see here. I think that's what we're gonna. Let's see if we can create a few mines really quick. Let's do 6. Now that seems like a lot, but I think we can put maybe all 6 right even in here. We do want to actually that kind of move them out of the way, so I think I can squeeze all 6 in here. Well, maybe not. It was a good idea, but I don't think we'll be able to squeeze all 6 in here because I think it's going to be about too short. Which that's okay. We can always create another row of copper mines here. Go. Now that should hopefully, we pretty much doubled our, because I think we only have these 6. I think we pretty much over doubled the capacity, or the, not doubled, I mean, we probably more than doubled our capacity for copper. So hopefully that gets flowing a little bit faster now. You can put speed modules in here if you wanted to. Speaking of which, how are those speed modules going? I don't think they really are going, just because I mean, we're having issues getting the advanced circuits down here. Yeah, I don't think we've really created another one, so... Yeah, so I think eventually we're going to have to move this into a different location, which I think we can do. I might just take it a minute. So we're getting close on that nuclear power. I think that nuclear power is really going to help us here. Got 5 more of these things. Holy cow. They're just cranking them out. Alright, so we've got these now. Let's go ahead and put that up there. Get some damage. I'm going to have to go up there and double check and do some repairs up there here soon. There is that going. So now I think we can start at least taking off some of the older furnaces here. Start getting rid of these this coal line here, which that very well could maybe only feed the copper. I don't think I see anything else that's pulling from there, so I might just do that. Put that back there, so we got plenty of coal going everywhere else. But now we've kind of limited the days of these furnaces to not very much longer. Get these guys up and going here. I think I can actually squeeze that in there and get all of them going. So, except for this one, which I might need to, if I can I, no, there is no power over there. So let's do that. So there we go. I think this is starting to work out a little bit better. We're starting to get a little bit of backup on the copper line, which is okay for now. I'm not too concerned about it, but eventually we'll need to, you know, get everything up and going. Yep. So Noah, I think it's 235. That's the smaller of the two. It's hard to get, and that's what we're kind of waiting on right now. So we have 2 more of these ready. Let's. I really don't want to like waste all this coal, but I mean we're only down a very small amount of it. But I think what we'll start moving all this. There we go. And then once we start running out of copper, I'll start ripping these guys up. Start bringing in the new technology here. And then we start ripping the, well, what I have to, well, I guess I necessarily don't have to rip them up. But yeah, that's what I'm a little concerned about, is getting the coal mixed in with the copper here, which in this game, mixing 2 conveyor belt lines is not a great idea. But I can redo these power lines later just to make them a little more efficient. But for right now, I think this will work. Looks like they're not quite gone dry, but up here they've run out of copper up to there, so I can get rid of these 2 finally. That one. And then we can place that one and that one. We'll move those. Get rid of that power line and see if we can power these like that. It's also using old stuff, so it's, you know, it's nice to actually replace the older power lines with the newer ones. Look at this, solid copper all the way down. Now up here where they're grabbing it's a little more different, but still, I quite like what we're doing here. Let's do that. And we just rip all this up. I think this will be the easiest way to do it, and then to there. And we get all those guys going. But now we do have our nuclear power. Let's do advanced oil processing, because they actually give some really neat stuff in there too. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and say this line is now done. Oh, crap. I accidentally filled my inventory with copper plates. Where is... I only use the iron ones for that one. Let's use a steel one. I'll keep a couple hundred plates on me, but I don't need that many. That'll work. Get rid of those. And these small electrical poles, we'll just keep them in there for now, but because I really don't need them anymore. It's a bit of an odd tea, I'll be honest with you. I still enjoy it though. It's a little bit different. I wouldn't drink. It's one I wouldn't drink every day, but hey, on a special occasion I would. Speaking of special occasions, we're about to run out of plastics up here. So let's see if we can go. There's just an iron plate sitting on the ground there. Let's go grab that up. Is there a place where we're actually pulling plastic off? I don't think we do have one, so we might just need to do this. I really should find a place to pull just plastic off so that we can have a small abundance of it somewhere. Do. Our battery's going. They're not going too awful bad. This it's starting to look really cool. I kind of like how everything fits. You can tell what our research is, and we still try to organize everything, but it's becoming like a big mesh of stuff, and I think it's really neat looking. Plastics. We need to get these up to cute. That's not one. That's exactly what I didn't want to do. We're up to 7 there. We probably can go ahead and stop that one actually. And the advanced circuits can probably just go into a chest now. Snag all this up. Use this chest as our advanced. That is our advanced circuits thing. Pick that up. There's 7 more electrical furnaces. We have 7 total. That's not bad. And then this guy will just keep producing more or advanced circuits, I should say. All while these guys are producing enough copper to really keep our things going for a pretty long while. I'm not really too concerned about all of this. We've got plenty of copper going now, so I think we're not going to run any short on copper. So that's a good thing. But speaking of which, let's start looking into our nuclear power. So if I'm not mistaken, we need a nuclear reactor, and so we need advanced circuits. I didn't know that. So that's why I wanted to create a line just for those guys. But we also need concrete. And so that might be a bit, well, I'm saying a little more difficult, maybe. I know we're going to need an advanced, like a level 2 crafter at least, for concrete. The copper plates I'm not too concerned about. Let's see if we can get a small, oh no, we already do. So we got plenty, alright, so we have plenty of concrete. I got that done last time. Just thinking ahead. So essentially these use uranium fuel cells, and it takes it into and creates energy. And then you transfer the heat to a heat exchanger. The heat exchanger uses energy to turn water into steam, and then you put it through a steam turbine. Which, honestly, I don't know why we couldn't actually create a steam turbine right now to see how this goes. Let's try that right now, because we're producing a lot of steam. But, like, how is this different? So this produces, hold on, 5.82 megawatts. What does this produce? 900 kilowatts. So if we can feed this with enough electricity, I don't see, we can start replacing some of these guys. Because essentially all nuclear power is just a big steam turbine. It's just, they just use different ways of powering, different ways of heating up water. So let's try the steam turbine. I haven't got to play around with these yet. We're kind of in unknown territory. So let's see. Let's get rid of this one. Let's see how, number one, let's see how big this turbine is. Alright, it's not bad. So it's starting to fill up with steam. It's only I'm using 1.8 megawatts because it doesn't really need to produce anymore. What happens if we cut that out? we're actually starting to run low on power. I wonder why that's not producing. It's got a full steam thing. That's what I'm like. I'm kind of curious why that's not. I wonder if it has to be double piped, as in a pipe on each end. Let's see if that's the issue. We need to actually run it that way. And let's see if maybe getting 2 outflow pipes will help it. I don't know if it will or not. We'll see. Oh, that's not quite enough there. It's only putting out 1.8 megawatts. I don't know if that's because. Let's see what's being attacked here. We're going to have to go up there here in a minute, but I don't know if that's just because I'm missing something, or it doesn't create enough until we have nuclear power going. For right now, we are running low on power, so I might just have to cut that out now, and we'll just go ahead and return it to what we had it to, the steam turbine, or the steam engines. Let's get this hooked up there. There we go. So now we should be producing less than we need. All right, so maybe it wasn't the steam turbine that was the issue. Maybe it was that we're just consuming way more power than we need. Where is the train that's... Okay, it just got to the Northern Iron Field, so let's go ahead and we'll take the buggy up there. We'll go for a nice Sunday drive. Let's see how our advance are. We got 47 there, not too bad. We'll probably honestly run out of plastics before we actually get to the point where... oh, that's probably not going to work. Before we actually get to the points, we'll have to keep refeeding it. Right, let's cruise on up this way. Dodging everything in sight. Grab a couple repair. Oh crap! Okay, let's grab a few repair tools. And so, right when I say that, I hit a telephone pole, or a light, or a power pole. It's not ideal. So it looks like kind of smaller damage, nothing too crazy here. Got a little bit of damage up here. You see where the shrimp people were attacking. But yeah, nothing too serious at least. So that's a good thing. It means our defenses are working. Let's head on down this way. I think we're fine up there. I think that was kind of our monthly trip up there, just to make sure everything was okay. There we go. And across this way. Got a lot more research done this episode, it looks like, which is a good thing. So let's go ahead and research the electric engine, because I think the electric engine is what allows us to get robots. So I do want to get that. Let's see here. Still kind of waiting on... I'm also kind of... see, it's heat energy, so we really just need... Yeah, that produces the heat. So we really can't do that until we get our nuclear reactor going. See how we're doing on our electrical circuits here. Up to about 66. We need to go grab some more of these. So let's actually grab just a steel chest if we have steel, which we do. Let's get something down here that just pulls plastic. So actually we need one of the purple ones, which I do have. Actually, let's put this over there. Let's go ahead and whitelist the plastic. Where's plastic at? There it is. I think actually this doesn't take, well, it does take plastic, but it's not using it right now because it doesn't have steel. I'll run what little we have right now pulled off up to the advanced circuitry area so that we can at least somewhat continue to make those. So we're down to 12, so hopefully here soon we can just transfer a couple stacks up there and we won't have to worry about it anymore. At least that's kind of the hope. Why am I carrying around just modular armor on me? Do I have... What armor do I have on here? I have heavy armor. Oh. Modular armor. Because modular armor, you actually can put modules in, which then, I think that's why we were creating batteries, is due to the fact that we can actually build modules for ourselves and we never have. Because we can build solar panels, an energy shield. We can, what's this? That's a flamethrower turret. That seems fun. Let's see what else we hear. That's a slowdown capsule, defense capsule. We got a bunch of stuff that I just haven't really looked at. I do have a personal battery. I can throw that on there. Not that it's going to work right now because don't have any way to power that. Character does look really cool though. So it looks like, yeah, we did create another fuel cell or two. So I don't know if we need more centrifuges to help process all that iron, or we just need to mine more. It could be either one. Let's see here. Advanced circuits still doing. We're about 20% of the way there. Let's see. Let's run down here real quick. There's our tank. Where's the plastic going? Here it is. Get attacked in Northern Ironfield. Normal. That's just like a normal Tuesday for them, or Friday for us. Let's run this way. You know, it may not be the worst idea, and maybe, you know, hear me out here. If we just created a place that just made advanced circuits, just a small section of, you know, of the place here that just did that. So we can do the exoskeleton now. We can do robotics, and that's kind of what I was kind of looking to get into. So let's build some robots. Why not? So what I'm thinking here. So what the advanced circuits needs: copper wiring, the original circuit. Oh, if I can't hit the right button here, thank you. So it needs plastics, it needs the copper wires, or the copper cable, and the electrical circuits. Well, here's my thing. We already bring copper down to the plastics area. So why don't we actually create, maybe right in here, we actually split this line and create a iron production, or a production facility. Because we can bring iron from over here, we split it from here, and it's going to be a little finagly, but we can probably bring it under here, bring it out here. I think we can do this. And then we can just create advanced circuitry there and run it up to here and across here, and we won't have to worry about advanced circuits again. I know eventually, I think some of the later on research stuff, you actually need advanced circuitry for a large amount of advanced circuits for some stuff like that. So, and it seems like we keep getting bottlenecked by it. So I think it's not the worst idea to do this. So let's do our iron line first. Well, we really should do our copper line first, because we can actually do that relatively easily. So let's actually move our tank, back this bad boy up, because this thing has been amazing for us so far. And I just took out a power line. Well, I'm going to leave that there. Alright, well, no harm, no foul. Anyways, so, put this one here. We run our splitter here. And so there's that. We can pull that into there. This is going to produce our copper wiring. We might need two of those. So let's go ahead and just build a second one just in case. We got one in, we'll need one more out. We'll need more of some, we need more steel plate, or copper, or we need more iron plates. I don't know why I couldn't get that out, but I couldn't. I think it's actually, we do have a place that just produces, or that just picks up iron plates for us right here. we go. Alright, so... There we go. Oh, I'm stuck on a pipe. Alright. Let's go out there. And go in here, out here. And we'll need another crafter, which we do have. We're also going to need some more electrical poles. Let's go grab those really quick. Bring the copper plates all the way down to there. Power these guys up. Tell these guys they're going to be creating electrical or copper wiring. I guess it could be electrical wiring. It's for circuitry. So there is that. So we got plenty of electrical or copper wiring, I should say. Now we need to get the circuits going. So the circuits I'm going to need iron for. So for that, I'm going to do a little bit of planning here. I guess what we could do is actually just turn that one. Put a second one. I don't need to go up one more. And turn it there. And then... I need a couple of those. Get there to there and there to... Oh, it is one short. Thankfully I have the room. I can just build another one. But it still kind of sinks. I was hoping to do that one underground pipe there. Do something like that. And then we can bring this across to there. So now we have the ingredients we need to build the regular circuits. There and there. And we will need the extenders for those guys. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, so we can have it out as well. But we also don't have any crafters left, so we'll need 2 of those. I'm really just trying to double up on everything I can just to make this as smooth as possible. Whether that's going to be something that is possible, that's a good question. But we'll see here momentarily. Alright, so now we've got our ends here, and because we can go out this way, because I don't think the advanced circuits needs copper plates. They need copper cables, which we can do. So I can just do the outs back here as well, and just run them like that. Like that, and there. And then we'll do worker robot speeds up. Ooh, we get laser turrets now. That's amazing. Some of the stuff I haven't seen yet, and that might actually be really useful. We'll see about that here in a moment. That's mining speed up. That would help us quite a bit, I bet. Alright, so... oh, that's not it. Oh, crap, I've messed up. Do that, and there we go. So now we're producing the regular circuits. So now we need to get the copper wiring, which we're already starting to run low on. And... those going over here, get that going across there, and really what I could do if need be, I can really very easily switch one of these to a wire and just have it go into wiring only. So there is that. We need to get plastics up here, which plastics won't be that hard. You do actually do a purple one there. We're going to do a little bit differently than I would normally do it, but that is not the end of the world over here. Go, and then white list, we're going to do plastics over here. I should start pulling it from that belt, and it should be okay. We'll see here. We got 2 things producing plastics, so I think we'll be okay. We'll need to go underground here. And then... really can't go... I'm trying to think if there was a way that we can actually, you know, do these on the same belt. But I don't think we can, so that is okay. So do something like this. Grab a couple more of these guys. Let's see one of those. We'll need another crafter. There's that. And so here is all this. Let's see here. We need... okay, still creating the crafter. So we'll need an extended one to there. And a regular... or two regular ones in and one out. So our... okay, this is now done. We can place that there. So this actually will be creating our advanced circuitry. This will go there. This will go there. That goes there. So we got power and everything to it. Now we can actually create an out here. And we'll just put it in the box for now. But really... do I want to do that, or do I want to actually create a couple more and get a little more framed up here? Or do I want to create a few more? I don't know why my camera's turned that much. There we go. Or do I want to create another one and just keep, because we got plenty of materials here. So let's go ahead and maybe create, I mean, what, two more of those. Let's actually, you know what? One, two. I'm going a little crazy. Let's do two. Let's do 3 advanced circuit makers down here, because we just have materials sitting here. Let's actually get, you know, let's actually get some more production of this stuff going. I don't want to. I'm getting a little tired of waiting on these advanced circuits at least. The out is going to be a bit of a pain in the butt, but we'll figure that out here in a moment. That. Ooh, rocket fuel. So we're at mining speed. I think that's going to help us probably the most. Hang on here. Why do I need this right here? Yeah, hold on. Let me do that, and I'll throw those in there. What if I just did this and ran that down to there? All right. It can still pull from there, but then we can actually have it out over here to pull from there and put our advanced circuits on here. That way, we can now actually have multiple of these guys and not have to worry about... oh, I put that in the wrong spot. And then not have to worry about... have to get boxes for all of them and things like that. So we put it there. So now those are all ready to go. Let's go ahead and get those guys going on the advanced circuitry. Now this guy can just do this into a box. And there we go. We got our advanced circuits being created. And hopefully this will just sit here and just produce as much as it can. You can already, it's just got materials waiting on it, and that's amazing. Might have to create actually more of them, to be honest with you. Not that it's a worse thing that we're having, you know, we're you know, just waiting to produce them. Kind of the opposite way up here. We're waiting on materials, but I think we're doing a lot. We're in a better situation than we were. We're only at 166 up here. Which, honestly, I think we just need to get rid of this place. It worked for a little bit, what we needed to, but it's something we just don't need anymore. We got the production facility down south. We can even use some of this material to actually create a 5th machine down there as well. So let's do that. I think that'll actually be a little more beneficial. All this copper can now flow back into the system and actually kind of go evenly where it needs to go. So let's run back down here. We got 3 crafters now. Let's at least do maybe 2 more. I know, it seems a little crazy, but I think we can actually pull this off. So one in there and there, one, we can do it out there and it out there, and like that. Pull those down to there. Actually, we need to go down to there. And then one out like that. Then we'll need a long inserter. Put the power there. Tell these guys to make advanced circuitry. And there we go. Now, as you can see, that we're starting to run a little low on the copper wiring, which I thought we might, unfortunately. It's kind of the product of what we're doing right now. We can even put one on this side if we wanted to. But do we want to? Let's see. Do we really think we want to need more copper wiring? It looks like we might need it. Alright, let's do that. I don't want to take down one of the other machines to actually create a or just to make it into a copper one, because it looks like we're going to need those two machines over there just cranking away as fast as they can, just to keep up with demand. So let's go ahead and... Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to actually do a bunch of these. So now we have this one. And do that out, and we'll have this guy doing copper wiring. Alright, so that should be able to keep up with it. I don't think we'll have too big of an issue. At least not anymore. Looks like I was also kind of curious about our fuel situation, but looks like our fuel situation is doing just fine now. If you remember from last episode, we actually had some fueling issues, but I think we got those resolved, and I don't think we'll have to worry about those anymore. It looks like we're starting to stack up on our copper down here, which is a good thing to see. It means we're producing a little more copper. No, it's actually not much more copper wiring than we need, but it isn't enough to where we don't have to worry about it anymore. That already hit 113 circuits in it. I think we'll be doing a lot better here shortly. Alright, so, nuclear power. So we're still waiting on that. We have the concrete. The concrete I'm not worried about. So let's go run and grab that really quick. So if we need more, if we want to create more reactors, we can, but at least they can start working on more concrete then. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you want? 8, 9, 10. We'll create 2 reactors. Well, I probably shouldn't say that because... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because we can barely create. We can't even create one right now. So we need more copper wiring. So let's run up and grab some more copper plates. Sorry, I didn't say copper wiring before. I know. Let's go grab a bunch of those. Let's also get just a regular. Do we have a regular inserter? It doesn't look like we do. Let's go ahead and grab one of those just to start refilling this up. I don't want to like take a bunch of them just because we don't need to take a bunch. We really don't need copper right this second because we have a ton stored up in here. But, you know, that's okay. But now we got advanced circuits flowing pretty good now. We're over halfway to what we need. Let's see here. So I have a feeling what we're going to do, we'll have a nuclear reactor, a heat pipe out to these heat exchangers, and then the heat exchanger will go to the turbine. That'll probably be the easiest way to do that. Which we have all the stuff for. It's not like it's not really hard stuff to get. So let's just go grab a bunch of the raw materials, so like the steel, the copper, and stuff like that. I've got a bunch of extra. What is all this plastic doing in here? I don't know why I have so much plastic in there, but I do. Need some iron plates. They are over here somewhere. I just need to make like a beacon out to it. It's like, hey, copper plates right here. Where's the steel being made? I know it's right next to the steel place. Am I really that blind? Don't wrong. Wouldn't surprise me if I'm really that. Oh, it's over here. That's why. This places change so much that it's like I don't know where some things are anymore. This used to be our iron producing facility, and we moved it over here now. Look at this. You can see kind of, even just in this episode, we've done all of this right here. We redid all of this in here. And so it's going pretty well, I think. Still having some issues up at the Northern Iron Fields right now. We're almost at 400 circuits already. Awesome. So we have plenty of that now, so we can create our... So first thing, we'll place this down, see how big... Because I don't know how big this stuff is either. Which I think we can probably do it on this peninsula, or kind of this little triangle here. We've got our water here. The only thing is our nuclear fuel cells are up there. So we actually may need to actually make it up here, which I did say we were. So I don't know why I'm talking about moving it down here. We want to put it right up here. And this should still work. I don't see why it wouldn't. If we put it, here, we have to run water up to it, which is not the worst thing in the world that we have to do. We've done it many of times. Let's see, the closest water pipe probably is there. So let's go ahead and get a water pipe going up there. So we'll need a couple of these guys. How far does this go up? Oh, it's right there where that thing is. All right, we can move that though. That is a damaged pipe, or damaged power line, so we can fix that. Oh. Go to there with it, and then this one, oh, that one isn't going to work. There we go, and there is that. And I probably won't do another one just because I don't know where I'm going to put the nuclear reactor at quite yet. Knowing my luck, though, this won't produce enough to really make a difference. That would be my luck. So we're producing the fuel cells there. So we need to find some way of getting them out of here and across, which... We'll just need some tunnels here. And knowing my luck, these tunnels will not go across there. That's a bit unfortunate. We'll have to run them up here then, which... Not ideal, to be honest with you. Actually, turn these out and there. Put the fuel rods back in there. Break this guy out. Run this up through here. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. It's going to clip the end of that mining thing there. How much does this have left in it? 754? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just move it because progress is right now a little more important than that last 700 copper. Let's see here. Alright, there is this going. Move this power line though. You know what, I'll leave them out here just in case we need to expand our research facility at some point, which I think we'll have to eventually. We will see about that. Alright, so now we've got our uranium fuel rods up and going here. See how this goes. Alright, so let's go grab, see how many more advanced circuits we need to, or how many we have now, see if we need to make any more. 83. We're at 200 or 474, aren't we? Oh, we do have enough, but I don't want to. That's going to use. We don't have all the advanced circuits yet, and we're not that far. We're only what 22 that we need, so these guys should be able to produce it pretty quick. Except we're not creating enough copper now. Well, that's an issue. All right. Well, why aren't we creating enough copper? We may just be using it all, which is not, you know, ideal, but you know. At least all the copper that's going down here is it's being eaten up by everything that's being produced down here. There we go. So at least if I can kind of self-feed it a little bit and kind of let these back up a little bit more, I'm okay with that. At least for right now, until we can maybe find a little more permanent solution. We can probably mine more copper or whatever. 97, 98, 99. There's 500. One nuclear reactor, please. It's pronounced nuclear. Nobody gets that joke. That's a bit of an old one. Alrighty, so let's plop this puppy down. Oh boy, that is massive. And I love it. Alright, so we have our nuclear reactor now. So now we need some heat pipes. We need a couple of heat exchangers, and we'll get a second turbine to see if we can start working towards a little more of a nuclear future. Alright, so heat exchanger pipes. Ooh, those look interesting to say the least. Alright, so it needs something like that. I think we can just kind of do that. Bring these heat pipes straight out here. I like how they look. It's pretty neat. And then we need more pipes. We're still creating some more steam turbines. So you'll probably line them up along here. Or do we get a second one? Where's the other steam? Oh, they're still creating it right now. Steam turbine. I'm gonna put a third one in there, to be honest with you. Let's do that. Actually, we're gonna need a bunch of pipes, but because of it, so let's do that. Create a second. I would say I took every steam turbine we had, or almost every pipe we had, just to get that steam turbine going. All right, so let's connect the water up first. So we got water flowing to these guys now. We'll have our steam pipes out. I don't know where that's going to quite go yet. We have to redo this water line just a little bit. Just to help accommodate this steam turbine, possibly. Alrighty, steam turbine is done here. Yeah, looks like we're going to need to move this one just down a little bit, like that. Which is okay. And there is that connection done, and there's that done. Okay, so water we've got going, we've got almost power to all these guys. There we go. Alright, I think we're ready to do this. I'm going to stand back just a little bit. There we go. Nuclear. Holy cow. That does not take a lot of fuel. And so it's got water now. Does it take that long to produce that much heat? Right, okay, so the temperature's rising. So once it gets to 100 degrees Celsius, of course, that's boiling point of water. $97, $98, $99. There's 100, so it is getting hot now. Temperature's up to 113 degrees. No steam yet. Oh, the minimum temperature is 500 degrees. Alright, well, I'll redo this because it was bugging me. It doesn't take a lot of fuel to actually get up that hot either. And apparently, we actually, if we put multiple nuclear reactors next to each other, we actually get a bonus for them all. That would be kind of cool. There we go. So, we also will need an out for these. Because we actually can take these spent uranium rods. We need to get those going too. We need to get some robots. That's probably what else we'll work on this episode as well. We can take spent fuel rods, if I'm not mistaken, and actually recycle them. What do you use to recycle them, or how do you recycle them? I'm not sure. But I will figure that we need to figure that out, because I think it might be something we need to look into, like to research. What is this? Oh, is that just a better, oh, it's a substation. Oh. Not like a Subway we get a sandwich at. It's like a, it actually will, like, it looks like it pushes out power better. That would be awesome. Speaking of which, let's look, we actually don't have a lot more research left to do. That's what I'm looking at. What do I need to get this? I need to get the purple research things. Yeah, so essentially, it allows you to take 5 used uranium fuel cells and turn them back into uranium-238, which is nice, you know. This one is going to be a pain in the butt to do. 30 rails, 1 electric furnace, and 1 productivity module. So we'll keep all of our spent uranium cases, because eventually we'll be able to recycle them into something else. Let's see here. We're at 275 right now, so power is temperature is increasing. I don't know if this means it's using all 5 of these fuel cells or just 1. If it's just using 1, holy cow. I think we can keep this up with just 1 nuclear reactor. We'll see though. I am really kind of curious about this. So, temperature-wise, we are sitting at almost 330. So it produces 103 steam per second. These guys need 60. So these 180. We should have enough. We might be able to actually put a 4th on there. We'll see here in just moments, mere moments. We'll see how that goes. Slowly decreasing. I really am kind of curious about some of this. So I haven't got to see any of this yet. Less than 100 degrees away, and we'll get our start getting some steam generated. I guess those boilers just don't look at that. It is only burning just 1 fuel thing. I think we can keep this up with what we have now. So yeah, that was only 1 used spent 1, and then we can turn that back into uranium-238. Still looking for uranium-235. I wonder if there's an upgrade you can do later that allows you to get more of it. I don't know, to be honest with you. Let me get that camera just adjusted just a little bit. There we go. So, just a couple more degrees, we'll be hopefully creating steam then. We get our turbines going. But look here, we need 21 megawatts of power. These things produce almost 6. If we can get, 3 more of these working? Oh, hold on. We are starting to produce power now. The turbines are spinning. Spinning faster than they were with the normal boilers. Now, how much power are we producing? We're producing 39 megawatts of power. I think our power problem might be. So put it this way. It looks like, hold on, I could be wrong about this. the 22 we have right now are producing 9.9 megawatts of power. I think it's a little low. But these guys, just 3 of these guys are producing 8.5. So let's start taking a few of these steam turbines offline. Just a few, not every one of them. I think we're going to have to keep some of these up for a while, at least until we can get maybe even a second reactor going. So something like that. We'll take a couple of them down. Take this line out. So now we're still producing way more than we need. So let's keep taking them down till we have a good buffer in between each one. We don't have to worry, since we're producing way more. I mean, we're still at 32, and that kind of concerns me because I've taken quite a few of these down already, and it's not going down. Just kind of pulling up some power poles here. I mean, it has gotten a lot more because we have been cutting a lot of these off. See how that goes. Still at 30. So I'm wondering, first and foremost, hold on. Why does it say it's producing or has 12, but they switched here. So I think what's happening is each one of these guys is actually producing more power now, which is what they should be doing. Because we're demanding more power from them. Yeah, so they're producing, we can produce 5.8, so in theory we can produce 15, and we produce about 17 watts of power from them in total. Because in all honesty, we really don't need all this then. We can get rid of quite a bit of this and reduce the pollution in our area by quite a bit. Now if we look at our power situation, we're still at 24 megawatts. We went from 22 of these to 6. I got $10 if we put another. Well, I bet you we can even, or we have the capacity to actually put a couple more steam turbines on here. We could very well be easily producing enough power just from this little setup here, and that is amazing. This is producing a lot of heat. If it goes nuclear, we got a problem, but you know, that's neither here nor there. So it's got plenty of heat. We need how much power? We need about 25. It's producing right around 18 right now. If we get 2 more turbines up, which I have enough for, we can even probably put them over here. We can even move the wall out a little bit and put them over here. I mean, yeah, we've used 2 fuel cells this entire time, and have not had any issues with power. That's pretty impressive. I'm actually kind of shocked, and then not really at the same time, because I knew nuclear power was going to change things a lot. I just didn't know how much it was going to change, and yeah, it's like, all right, everything that we've done up to this point, we can just kind of throw out, power-wise, because this nuclear power is just dominant. It's amazing. But we'll need to get something like that over there. That pipe, and we can get that turbine going now. And so, how much power are we producing now? So these guys are producing about 13 megawatts. And look at this. These guys are producing, what, less than 2 megawatts per machine now? I have a feeling we can probably just go ahead and take all these offline once we get this last turbine up and going. We do need to make sure that we're producing enough steam, though. If not, we just got to create another heat exchanger. It's not a huge deal. We got plenty of water. Yeah, I think we're just running a little low. I think, you know, it would be a safe bet to put a 3rd heat exchanger in here. We'll need a few more pipes as well. I'd like to keep them all on the line here. I don't know if I can do that, though. I have to get rid of this corner here. I'm willing to do that, and I can fix it by doing that. There we go. So that's fixed. Now we need to get the pipes going over here. And it will need some heat pipes. Like that. It's going to take a minute. It's already got temperatures up to 838 degrees already, so we've got plenty of steam going to all 5 turbines now. And so I think this is going to be a new power station for a long while. Because, yeah, we really don't have any reason we shouldn't. We have no reason we can't keep that going. The only thing I'm kind of concerned about is actually keeping enough, or getting enough U-235 to keep that going. So let's go ahead and sprint on down this way. And let's actually go ahead. I know this is a little, you know, maybe a little jump in the gun a little bit. I'm going to rip up this entire section here. Because we only need 17 megawatts. We're producing 33. It's like, we really don't need all this anymore. If you look here, we're totally running on nuclear power. We're producing 31 megawatts of power, and we're using about half of it. This is amazing. We've gone nuclear, literally. And, oh crap, that's a turret. I didn't want to lose that turret there. So let's do that. Let's get a fast inserter in there. Let's also get some ammo into this guy. Alright, so let's, I guess, rip up this little peninsula here. And we can start, we don't have to worry about this kind of power anymore. Well, until we create Chernobyl again, which, yeah, you know, we got a few years before that. Before we really screw up that bad. Alright. And so now, we have all this solid fuel that I have no idea what we're going to do with. That's going to be a fun idea. Really, what I could do is actually pretty much whatever we're using coal for, I might just start switching over to solid fuels, which they produce, or they last longer. They burn they burn longer, and you don't need as much of it. And usually anything that uses solid fuels actually burns, like it's faster for it. So what do we still use coal for? Well, don't get me wrong, we can't just outright get rid of coal. That would not be good. So let's actually go over here and do this. I need. If I take 3 crates here and just start doing this, it's going to need power. Let's try to get rid of as much of the solid fuel as we can through these boxes. And I also created those boxes just so that I have somewhere to dump all this stuff when I pick all this up. I know the solid fuel is a good fuel source, but what we were using it for, we're just out of. And now that you kind of see the reason why I didn't want to do too much more to this area over here, because I figured I could be, I could have been wrong, but I thought nuclear power would really pretty much solve anything that we had issue-wise or power-wise, and it did. And look at this. Now we have this huge open area down here, and we can even add more land here and do what we want to it. So that'll be kind of fun. Actually, you know what? As a matter of fact, it didn't actually pull up as much as I thought it would. Do we have an issue with our solid fuels up here? Looks like we're having issues again with petroleum. What is going on here, people? Is our train having issues? matter of fact, our train's sitting in the station here. These things, while they're being reloaded, are we just running that low on petroleum that these guys aren't getting all of it? Because I mean, look here, we are, you know, we're not quite full on this stuff, and this stuff's having issues. Yeah, so yeah, we might be having. So we might have just timed that correctly, and hope, or now that we don't have any. Now we don't have to really depend on the solid fuels anymore. We are starting to run low on petroleum. We might just kind of lucked out, I guess. We might need to go down to the oil field and make sure everything's going okay down here. We're still getting a good amount of oil out of it, but, you know. We shall see. But now that we don't have to worry about power for a very long time, which is awesome to know. And I'm glad one nuclear reactor actually really kind of solved that stuff. I mean, I was kind of prepared to create multiple ones if need be, but I don't think we'll have to. Look at that. Just nice, solid. You know, it's you know, it's starting to wane a little bit because we took everything out. But worst comes worst, I put a third. Wait, you know, let's go ahead and do it. We can put a third or no, third. What, number 6? Right behind here. So I think the next thing I want to work on is actually getting our research kind of back up and going where it should be, because if you noticed here, only about maybe half of our research, maybe even less than that, is actually getting enough beakers to actually do the research, and that's not a good thing. I want to see if we can try to get, and essentially it would be more. That turbine at? Oh, we're still creating it. I'm going to see if we can actually increase our blue beaker production. So we want to start creating the purple beakers as well, and that's going to be an even bigger pain in the butt. So there we go. Plenty of steam to go around, and we're producing 37 megawatts now. So all in all, good. Let's see here. I think the main problem with our blue beaker building is that that's a mouthful in and of itself, is these guys. They're not producing enough the advanced circuits that we really can't. These guys aren't really doing anything. You know what? Let's go ahead and just rip these guys up. There we go. So I think what we need to do is find a way to get these guys up to here. That was kind of the main goal, or the first idea to really get this going. Let's start pulling up. We got a bunch of conveyor belts now, so that we can, from the power plant that we had. So I think what I have to do is bring this. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Well, I need to get those boots that allow you to just stand still on conveyor belts. That would be kind of nice. So now we can get these guys. Oh, I got power lines here. Probably get rid of that one too. Let's see here. I need to bring it up this way. And around like that. That should work. Now we're kind of flooding this area with advanced circuits. Let's try to cut some of these in half. Can I? Oh, let me drop a chest really quick. Let's throw all those in there. So I can kind of split these up into packs of 50 is kind of the idea I want to do. I just dump those in there, and in there, and in there. And now that our now that we really don't need this iron line out this far, we actually can reroute it. along this way. Turn it there, and then rip all this up. Matter of fact, let's just let it go. We'll just kind of slowly follow it down. There we go. But now that we've done that, what we can do now is we actually can break off this line over here. So we can break it off. We'll have to get one more back. Split it there. Turn it back that way. And then kind of keep it as close to this line as possible so we can keep as much there. So we need advanced circuits there. We'll need advanced circuits there. So we can actually do that and that. So now they can actually start using advanced circuits now over here. And we can start actually getting our production of, let's throw 200 in there. We can actually start getting some speed modules going for this area over here as well. Hopefully that should work. I don't know. Might have to put another crafter over here for just advanced circuits, which it's kind of been the theme of this episode, just advanced circuitry. But if you look here, this is now packed and stacked with this stuff, and that's amazing. So once it starts back up here, it's going to shift all these over to there, which I don't know if it can actually take very much more of it right this second. So this just might be what's kind of not holding us back, but something we can really get going here soon. And this is amazing. What else do I want to do? So we got our, essentially we've got our, once I think what my train of thought's been kind of all over the place right now. This guy also needs advanced circuits, doesn't he? All right, let's actually help him out real quick. And then doop. There we go. So, what else do we want to do? Well, I want to get robots going. We can start working on some robots, because why not? Let's see here. Did we need like a controller for them or something like that? There was something we needed for like a base for them to go like charge and all that good stuff. I don't see one. So maybe not. So, for a flying robot frame, we need 2 batteries and we need an electrical engine unit. We actually... for that we need lubricant, and then we need heavy oil. To get heavy oil, we need oil refinery. Which, to be honest with you, I think, and I could be wrong about this, but some of the processes we're doing now, we actually can convert, like this one. We actually can do advanced oil processing. And so now, we need to cut this. We'll have to redo this whole section, unfortunately. Do something like that, though. And well, before I lose my headset, let's go ahead and plug it in. My head's starting to hurt a little bit too. It's not, everything's falling apart on me now. It's not great. All right, so if we want to convert all of these over to this heavy one, which we actually just got our mining production up. Awesome. Let's go ahead and get follow robot count up as well. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're running water over here. Sounds like we're actually doing some fracking, almost. So let's go ahead, do that. Do something. I'll have to, you know what? Let's actually go to there and then cross over like that. All right. So now we have at least water on this side. Let's get that going down over here. So there we go. Actually need to cut that off really quick. So now we've got water. We don't have the crude oil, which I think that could be an issue we need to work on. But let's at least get this one set up so we can get. So we'll need some tanks, and by tanks I mean a lot of them. Probably do maybe 6 for each. That should work. So essentially we have the heavy and light lubricants now, which we'll have to start storing somewhere. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll just kind of S them, or S-curve them like that. So there's 6. This will be for, we'll do heavy oil over there. And then the light oil will go over here. Might have built one less than I wanted to. There, and one more there. Well, so there is our line for the heavy stuff. And let's you know, well, you know what, let's do over here. Let's see here. We're going to create a bunch of pipes anyways to get all this to work properly, so let's go ahead and do it. Let's do this, bring that down to there. Perfect. So now we have a petroleum line, which we're going to have to move up at least 1. So let's get rid of, not all of them, but a good amount. So this will be the petroleum line that'll run this way. We'll just connect all these pipes up like so. So now they can continue to what they were doing. This one, this might be a little fun. Let's see, we do that. Bring that over to there. So that one is pretty much ready to start doing the more advanced processing. So that'll go into the yellow line. This will go into the orange line. So essentially, the orange line is now. I don't want to do that. Essentially, the orange line is going to be the very northern part, and then you get the yellow line, which is going to be your light lubricants, are going to be kind of in the middle, and then you got your petroleum on the bottom here. So right now, let's just worry about doing the light lubricants. I think that'll help a little bit. Then after this, I think what we need to do is head down south and start looking at doing, or see what's going on with our oil refinery. So it's going to come out to there. To move this line then. Go right to there. Got the follow robot count done. Let's go ahead and move on. I'm just going to continue down the line here, so it's no big deal. All right, so this is now the yellow line. So there is that completed. So let's go ahead and get some more pipage. And let's get the orange line set up now. So this line is the orange one. So I'm going to cut it back actually to there. This is not ideal. It's rather tight in here. And then this one will be the orange. This one will be the orange. And that will be the last orange one. So we need one more of those guys. And I'll double check and make sure. So that is the orange. I'll switch this one over. Oh, do we actually get a bunch more? Let's see. That one's orange. And that one's yellow. Great. Alright, come on. We have just a few more pipes. We can have all this part connected. We have to go back to the other side and work on that one. So that should supply all these tanks, which we can build a ton more if we need to. Hopefully the train doesn't come in and hit me. It didn't. Good. Alright, so now we have to pretty much do exactly what we did on the other side to this side. So let's use kind of these last three as an example. Really, it might be easiest to bring the water lines out like that, and then like this one, we'll take this guy, run it under like that, and that'll be our petroleum lines. This is a water line here. And then we'll need a couple more of these guys. And a bunch more regular pipes. Once again, just all big. It's just a big puzzle right now that we're working on. So there is that. This will be part of the petroleum line. There, we'll have to move this one out of the way for right this second. Do that to there. Water line, and the last water line, which I'll leave for right this second, but we know where it's at least now. There to there, and then there to there. And there we go. So now we have all that hooked up. We'll get the last water line hooked up. So now all these guys should be able to produce the heavier oils and stuff like that. Let's see how this goes. Petroleum going through here. We've got the light lubricants going this way. We've got the heavy. Look at this. Oh, that's actually pretty cool looking. Now, not all these will be producing the lubricants. I mean, these guys over here, I've pretty much got them locked in to petroleum processing only, but that's okay. I mean, we've got 6 towers, I think it is, just producing the lubricants and everything, so I think we'll be okay there. Speaking of being okay, I'm thinking about actually putting back up our radar dishes to see. I know they'll scout out more land, but we pretty much figured out what lands are around us right now. But I'm curious to see, and I don't know if this is true or not. Do these guys actually scout and actually tell us what enemies have popped up around here, without actually having to drive around and see? Because if that's true, we might need to keep those up and going for a little bit. I know we kind of took them down when we were running low on power, but I think we're okay on power right now, I would say. As a matter of fact, I think we're doing a lot better on power than we were in any episode, really. So we'll see how that goes. Let's go check on our iron mine, or not our iron mine, the oil field. Because I got a feeling that's what's kind of having some issues right now. And it almost took out a power pole. Tank does not like to slow down very well. Speaking of well, okay, it's got plenty of fuel in it, so we're okay on that for now. Let's get this guy back up and going here. Let's weave through here. Let's head south and see what's kind of going on with the oil fields. Something's happening with them. They're just not producing as much oil as they should. On our way there, we get attacked, so that's not usually a good thing. I mean, it looks like our oil fields are just fine. It's just that they just aren't producing enough oil. Or, yeah, they're just not. Let's say, are they not holding enough oil? But yeah, they're holding as much as they can. They're just, yeah, they're only producing about 18,000 oil while our thing's gone. So I think we need to go scout out some more oil then, it sounds like. Let's actually head out west here and see if we can. Number one, we haven't gone out in the tank in a little while and explored or attacked anything, so let's take a break from all the mundane stuff and let's go out and see what we can do. that's I think that's coal in front of us. Yeah. Looking for the purple squares. That for some reason in this game that's what oil is. I mean, fair enough that coal was shown as black already. But we have an enemy camp here. Let's do what we always do and start shelling it. They didn't like that, but guess what? I'm gonna roast them. Alright, we are now in range of their towers, which I don't want to be. Nicely done. Alright. Burn these little guys up. That's trying to be, yeah, there's not that many left. Just kind of going on this one. And there we go. Run over the last guy. Camp gone. Alright, let's go ahead and do a little bit of repair. So a little bit out of practice for the tank. Alrighty, so we got that guy taken care of. Let's go ahead and hop back in and take care of this next camp just right here. This looks like a little bit bigger camp, so this might be a little bit harder. Yeah, I say a little bit harder. I mean, I'm just torching everybody in sight. Alright, well this is not going as well as I thought it would be. For some reason they don't like fire. Go figure. Actually, it's a harder fight than I thought it would be. Alright, I'm out of flamethrower. Not good. I don't know why I'm running away from these guys. Let's do this. Run them over. Oh, I can just run over the towers? Oh, that's a lot easier. Heck, I don't know why I was doing this the entire time. That's a lot easier just to run over everything. At least I take damage, I know where it's at, but alright, that was a little bit of a harder fight, I'll be honest with you. Ah, look at that. Camp taken down. Tank's a little bit damaged. I'll have to complete a few repairs on it. There we go. Good as new now. Keep on rolling. I haven't saved this game a little bit. I should do that. Save game. Stream play through. There we go. Yet to see another. Holy cow! Hold on. Let's turn. Let's see how bad this one is. Yeah, that one's pretty bad. Oh, it's already shooting at me. All right. Well. Also found more water. That's kind of cool. Kind of wish there was things like boats or hovercraft, or even like an acronoplon. If you don't know what that is, that's a interesting thing you gotta look up. It's like a hybrid between a boat and a plane. Kind of the most famous one's called the Caspian Sea Monster. But yeah, chronoplons would be kind of cool in this game too. Hold on. I've hit oil. All right. Actually, not as far as I thought it would be. A nice little cliff area. Just kind of do a little bit of a loop here. Well, that's an issue. We don't want to attack too many camps right now, just because I'm out of the... Oh, there's another camp right there. Because I don't have the flamethrower stuff. Kind of trying to keep my distance a little bit. There's another camp up there. Holy cow. So we found oil. I think we actually took that camp down recently. There's a couple more that have popped up that we can actually, we could use that oil. It is a bit of a drive, though. Our base is just to the east here. There's our oil field. I mean, we'd have to somehow create a second, train station, essentially, for it. But we could do it. And essentially what would happen is, or I guess we could use the same oil station. And essentially we just have two tracks leading out of here. One, oh, actually you can't go through. I'm about to say I can't enter through here, but I guess I can. This tank is a little bit faster than I thought it was. Number one, let's get this wall repaired. There we go, and we'll get the tank repaired. There we go. It's not fully healed, but you know what? Because we're also the power pole down there is kind of missing a few points. Let's get that repaired first, and then we'll get the rest of the tank fixed. Go. Look at that. We've already got quite a bit of lubricants going here. Good to see here. What were we working on with lubricants? I don't remember. Oh, that's right. We're about to make some robots, but we need lubricant. But to create lubricant, I need heavy oil. So this heavy oil I can take and put into a chemical plant again and make lubricant. I'll probably just put it right here. You know what, so let's go ahead, because of that, let's go ahead and move our tank over to here. Drop that puppy off. And it's miners, there we go. Yes, I actually want to move it back a little bit more. Just so that if I want to create more at some point, I can put underground here and then put our pipes in. So I need lubricants and got power to it. I'm gonna need some more pipes though, which is no big deal. We do something like that. I don't know why there's just a piece of ammo out there. Oh, a bit of texturing that's gone a bit awry. There we go. Now it's producing lubricants. I do want to. I'll just create a storage. We'll create a storage tank over here for him. I'll probably it'd probably be easier to create a crafter over here than try to bring this somewhere else. I'll put that full of lubricants. And so now that we have our lubricants, what do we need for the engines? We need engine units. Well, crap. All right. Well, do I have any on me? I don't see any. Look at this. All this red. It's amazing. I think we finally solved our circuitry woes. And yeah, we don't have to worry about those for at least a little while now. Let's go ahead and throw all the power making stuff in there as well, just so that we don't have to worry about it anymore. Kind of let it sit there. And also the old power stuff. We'll keep the furnaces on us because those are actually kind of our best technology still so far. Still have 6 uranium fuel cells on me. I don't know how I have those. Let's go look at our engine production. We need a couple engines. Let's see here. Ooh. We should have plenty of those now. Yeah, so not too concerned about that. So now we need a crafting thing. or a crafter. I don't have one, so let's go ahead and do that. Got everything else available to me, so I won't have to worry about it too much. Alright, so now we need the crafter. Probably right there we can do that. We actually need to make flying robot frames. I'm sorry, we need to make electrical component or electrical engines first. Which in that case we do need the lubricants. So there is that going in there. So we have that. We need the engines. We need electronic circuits. Should have plenty of those. I'm not really that concerned about it. Let's go and just start swiping them from here. Once again, we are running low on copper wiring. There we go. Good as new now. Back up to where it should be at least. Alright, so components. We're going to go in here. So we need those guys. We're going to need the other thing we need the engine components, which are there. And then this guy is going to pop out to the next one over. We'll need another crafter. I don't have copper for it. Alright, we'll need to go grab some copper then. Which, if you look now, our copper's starting to back up, which is somewhat of a good thing. That means we're producing enough of it to where it's starting to back up even over here, which is good. Which, actually, that means these guys aren't pulling as much as they should. And if you look over here... Oh, hold on. Yeah, they've already ran through what I gave them. And so, they are starting to pull from the line, just not nearly as fast. So that's kind of nice. Need more copper, though. Need to go grab... Here's our copper. There we go. Let's go and create one more assembler, and then we are out of steel plates. Iron plates. Steel, I guess it could be steel plates. But yeah, let's go ahead and grab a bunch more of those. It's like steel's going well still too. Trying to stretch out a little bit. My legs are getting a little bit sore. Plenty of plastics down there. Also notice that our plastic production is getting a little low because our oil train is not doing as much as it should be. Anyways, let's get flying robots, or let's get our robots. I want to see the robots, and then we'll start working on our oil stuff. So there is that. We've got another crafter just here. And now we can have this guy start creating the frames, which we also need electrical circuits for. Electronic circuits, or whatever it is. So just split. Maybe I might just split what little we have up here in half and take those to there. We need some iron. We need batteries. Our batteries are over here. Where's our batteries being built at? I know we had there's a whole line out there. I know we had a whole place for them. Come on. And there we go. The wrong bucket there. Alright. This is where we need to go. Drop those off. Alright, so now we're making the frames. We can just put an out over here. And throw that in there. So now we at least have the chassis. How do we actually create, or actually, how do we make them into a, like say, a robot that we can kind of either control or use or whatever? So I'm trying to look up right now. I don't really see anything that would allow me to do that. Because that's a defense capsule. So you create one defender that way. So that's one robot. I'm thinking like a logistics or like a worker bot. How does that work? A construction bot. That might be. So what do these guys do? Construction bots can repair and build friendly entities. You can also order the robots to build new structures by placing the ghost there. That actually might be what we need. So we have combat robots. That's the only way I can build right now. Logistics robots. The characters. Let's see, that would be useful. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll get some logistics robots going here. So now I think we need to start looking at, maybe even start getting this oil going over here. Because essentially what I can do is, once I get that going, I can use this in out to actually to allow the trains to come in and out. And we put some signals here. I don't know if I can do that actually. I don't know, I might have to put another station maybe over here and then let it flow over here. I don't know, we'll figure that out. But right now, guys, I'm going to go run and take just a quick break and grab something to drink really quick and use the restroom. So I'll save the game here just in case something were to happen while I'm gone. I'll leave it paused. So yeah, let me be right back. Let me throw up the be right back screen. Just give me a couple minutes, guys. I should be back maybe about 5 after 3. So if you need to take a break, it'd be a good time to do so, and I will be right back. Alright guys, I am back and ready to go. Two funny things just happened to me though. Which one's a little odd, but one's actually really interesting. So let me pop back in the game here. I'll kind of explain on what happened. So the lights in our house is not great, and for some reason, if our dryer is going and there's something else, it pops the breaker to one of the bathrooms. And so I was stuck in the bathroom with no lights on for like 2 minutes. Not fun, but it did happen. That's really no big deal. There's a flashlight in there. But I think a lot of you guys have heard, you know, I tell on Planet Coaster quite a bit, that we went to Disney recently. We actually went, that's why I took 2 weeks off and went to Disney for a bit. And my dad, one of the last days, or went towards, actually about probably maybe 3 days left, lost his Magic Band. So if you don't know what a Magic Band is, and I don't have one to show you, it's, if you look it up, they're all over the place. It's what Disney uses for your tickets. They use it for charge your room key, everything. There's a whole plethora of stuff they do, and he lost his. Thankfully, they're pretty good about having replacements for him, so if you need them, they can get you a new one. But he was kind of bummed because it was a special one. It was something we pre-ordered, and we actually looked through the parks, could not find one to replace it with, anything like that. So he got himself a replacement one. It was just a red one, nothing special or anything like that. And so today, we've already started shopping for Christmas. I'm pretty sure my mom starts the day after Christmas shopping for Christmas gifts. And that's no lie. I'm pretty sure she does. As a matter of fact, I know she does. So can't confirm. We got a package today that was addressed to my dad, and he, my mom's like, here, I don't know what this is, but it came for you. And inside of it was his Magic Band. Apparently somebody had found it and turned it in at the Animal Kingdom, and it just shipped out. It's been about 2.5 weeks, and so yeah, he got his Magic Band back, which is amazing, and I think it's hilarious. And we looked it up. It's his Magic Band. We double checked everything. It is legitimately his Magic Band that he lost in the Animal Kingdom, and he got it back. So I think that is a pretty neat little story there. How in the world that happened, I'm not really sure. But so we were sitting. I remember he would play with it. It's kind of loose, even on my arm. I mean, I've got a big arm, kind of width wise, and even they're kind of even on some of the bigger settings, they're actually still kind of loose. So I could see very easily how one could slip off your arm, but I think it's it just so happened that it slipped off his arm, or I don't know if he got hooked on something or what, but it was actually kind of funny. But we got it back, so that was actually kind of the coolest part of that whole little story. Actually getting back, we actually thought we lost it on the safari, which We could have. We may not have. We really don't know. But yeah, so that's kind of the adventure of that Magic Band story. But we got logistic robots now. Let's actually build our worker robots, or the construction bots. Because that seems pretty neat. It doesn't look like there's any other one. We can do construction bots. We can do personal robots. Insert into armor to allow construction robots to work from your inventory. That's actually kind of cool. That's right. We can get a portable fusion reactor, which is really just a Mr. Fusion. I think we've kind of settled that the last time. Let's go ahead and start that research there. So right now I'm building some explosives. You know, that's kind of normal. So essentially my idea is actually I'm going to blast all this cliff out here. And what I'm going to do is actually use this as kind of the next area for our train station. Because then we can actually pull the train in here, we can unload and load it over here, and not have to worry about it too much after that. And we can go right into, we can hook it into here and have it pump into the actual like tanks from over here, or we can have it just process over here as well. So either way should work. Let's see if I have any more explosive right now. It looks like I do. Explosives going. Get some more of the cliff ones. So these cliff explosives is what I'm going to try to use to get rid of these cliffs here. Go. No, we don't want to throw them willy-nilly, but to be a little more conservative with them. But yeah, you can see here we're opening this up here a lot more. And that helps. I think that's going to help us quite a bit. There's 2 more gone. And we do have a little bit of an opening in our base at the moment, but we should be fine. I'm not really that... What in the world's all this? Oh, since we got our little robot, we can... Or we got some more robots, to say. We can, we actually can tell them what to build. Alright, blueprint. What can we blueprint here? Alright, I kind of want to see what this does. Hold on. Oh, I can tell them I want to upgrade stuff, and it will do it for me. That's amazing. That's amazing. Look at this. Tell them to build a wall there. This is going to be really useful for when we want to build new bases around. I just kind of plan them all out and let my robots start working on them while I continue to plan. But while we're on that topic, though, we should at least look and try to actually building some robots. So I really do want to see how those work. I do have worker robot. Oh yeah, I should have construction robots somewhere. Oh, hold on. Here we go. So I need to get just the frames. Let me grab a couple of those. We have 5 built so far. Waiting on electrical components. I can build some, but it's... Yeah, not really too concerned about it right this second. But I can at least build a few... hold on. Ah. So we're going to need one of these things. So we can create one of those. See how this goes. So the storage, I'm wondering, let's get one of each. And let's kind of play around with this. So we can get one of each, a logistic robot and a construction bot. I have a feeling probably what it is that the one of the chests provides goods and a allows the robots to give the goods back to the conveyor belts and one to take it back. I don't know. I really haven't played around with these. We're gonna learn together. But while we are building our robots, let's do a little more destruction on the cliffs here. Go. There we go. Perfect. I already have this blueprint. Right click to open. Oh, that just tells it I want to build that. Okay. Let's see what it's doing now. Create blueprint along here and along here. There we go. All right, so I have my robot port. Hold on. Aha. I can put my logistic bot and my construction bot in there. Alright, why are my guys not doing anything? I'm wondering, hold on, let's run up here. Because I have them to build walls. Now, whether those walls will actually help or like whether they'll actually go out and build the walls right this second is yet to be seen. But let's go ahead and plop. Ooh. That down there. So where's the walls coming from? They're coming from there. All right. I bet you I can put a. Hold on. This makes it available for that. I'll do something like that. We'll need power to it. Now that we have that, why is my construction bot not going? It is too far away from everything. I mean, it could be. So let's see if we move it to where this RoboPort, I'm stuck in a little nook there, is within both the building area and the wall terminal area. Oh. Something like that. So we need power, of course. Anything? Alright, this is when Google becomes your very best friend. Factorio robots. They call them a logistics network if you guys are wanting to look this up. Depending on the type and configuration of the chest and area of the logistics network, let's see here. Robots offer higher mobility since they can fly over obstacles in a beeline. The player can also request or act as a requester chest. Let's actually let's get the personal robots going too, since we're kind of going headlong into this. Alright, to start with, just use a passive provider and a requester chest. Place the passive provider chest as the output in sort of assembly machines, as a requester chest as the input. Let them request needs. Alright, place a roboport which covers these chests within the inner orange area. Place some logistics robot in the roboport. The roboports will then fly out top the hatch, begin to work. Logistics networks make it possible to create complex items in a relatively small factory area, but throughput's limited, of course. Alright, so hold on. What is this? Ah, so it's saying that it needs the required materials, but it doesn't have them. I'm wondering if I build a roboport over here. I'm just trying to think of what I can do. So I need to create a, let's see here, the passive provider. So the passive provider, which is over here, so I have that. Also, it's putting grenades in there. Probably not ideal, to be honest with you. Let's actually cut that to a regular one, just so it doesn't take up everything. So the passive provider, it needs a roboport nearby to allow the logistic bots to fly back and forth. So let's create another port over here. We can also probably actually create another logistics bot for over here. And so hopefully he'll be able to take these from over here to over to here, and then the construction bots can then go out and provide the materials that, or provide the, actually start building the walls. Let's see if this works like that. You know, it'd be cool if it did. If it didn't, oh well. How's our power going, by the way? Looks like we have tons of. Hold on, what's? All right, for some reason they put them on the other side of the belt too. I guess since it's in a T, it doesn't really matter. But look at all that. We've got plenty of power now. Awesome. That's what I wanted to see. That's what I was kind of hoping for. We also got something else completed. So there we go. So we do have this dashed line here. This dashed line, if I'm not mistaken, says that they're linking now. So that works out pretty well. Where is our walls being constructed? They're being constructed right there. And so if I do that, let's look on the exoskeleton armor. That looks kind of cool. And then if I put a logistics bot in here, there he is. Oh, there he is. There he goes. He's going to pick up the walls. Hold on. Where's he taking him to? Come on, little guy. Come on. All right, is that a construction bot? That's a construction robot. Hold on. Time out. I think he's actually going to go and build the wall. Hold on. Let's watch. Hey, look at that. That's cool. We have built an area so we can actually start building robots like that. All right, that is pretty cool. So now that we have, actually, we really want to actually build. Actually, there's a little space I actually want to cut out in here, like that. But it's cool. We actually have a little flying robot now that is building our little wall here. So he'll just go back and forth. We can create probably a couple of those guys. It's not like we have to have, just one. Let's see if we can. How many more can we build? We can create two. Let's create two more. We'll do that. So essentially, what we need. So if we're going to be using these guys to construct, we need to pretty much put these guys next to the copper, iron, things like that, and then he can use, or they can go ahead and use all that to start crap. Well, I guess we have to put them next to the components that they need to actually build whatever. So now we got. Where did the bots go? Oh, look at that! They're going. All right, cool. That is pretty neat. It's a bit of a flight for them, let's be fair, but that seems to be working out pretty well. So while they're doing this, we can actually start working on building our railway terminal in here so that we can get our second, probably next episode will probably be when we actually complete this, but at least we can get a start on our, at least we can get a start on our rail line here. Yeah, it's just going to take a minute for those construction robots to really kind of catch up, but that's okay. Alright, so we have that. Let's start building our rails up through here. And we'll probably right there will work. This will be all facility number 2. I think it's the wrong side. There we go. This is called, will be called main base west oil station. There we go. We got that set up now. We need to get, we'll need a couple of these and a couple of these. Probably 3 of those. We'll need 40 engines. It's a lot of engines, but I want to make sure the station's big enough for what we're working on. Engine components are being built over here. And our engine components are getting kind of low. How many do I have right here? I'm gonna have to build 1. We're kind of short on the second one. Maybe about 5 more. It's not too bad. So there's our next one. We really, it's a lot of lot that we're working on. I want to kind of get all the research for the blue beakers done first, then we can move on to the next one. All right, we need quite a few more actually. Engines, that is. So we grab the engines really quick. Yeah, this shouldn't take too long to get. Engines right here. I'm more amazed I actually get all this to work together like this. It's pretty impressive. The problem is our research is kind of suffering right now because we're not making enough engines. So we might need to, since we have all this area now cut out, we might just need to reroute or redo our engine area and actually build a little bit better one. Because we have the room now, we can actually just go in and I would say we have all the room that we need to actually make this a little more organized, and we can put the gear, put 2 gears, 2 pipes, and then what else does this thing need? It needs steel, which we can just run steel over. So that might be something we need to do. We might do that here. Well, I mean, really, honestly, kind of right now, probably we won't get the railroad done today for our new oil field. That probably will be next episode. We can get more robots being built and stuff like that with some more oil. It's just going to take us a little bit more materials and a little bit more time to get that up and going. So it looks like that's going to be a perfect size for the train there. So yeah, we can worry about, well, that'll be kind of the start of the next one. I think that's what we'll do. But I think for this episode, I think we can do a few more upgrades to the engine area here, and hopefully we can get that kind of going a little bit better. So let's go ahead and actually rip all this up. Let's just start afresh, and we might even redo how we get shoot, I need to stop the iron line here. But we will need that, so I won't cut it off completely, but, you know. Alright, so that's the outline there. So we'll need that. But this is just, I think this is too cramped for what it was. So that'll be our outline, or kind of what we're going out for. Let's cut all this off. So there we go. So now we got this whole big area here we can work with. So the first thing we need to do for the engine pieces is we need iron gears and iron pipes. So what I'll do is I'll put 2 of each. Probably 1 on either side. So that's the inserter, conveyor belt. Might have to move this thing here, which I can do. That's no big deal. You'll kind of see what I'm about to do here in a second. So there and there. So these 2 will just produce iron gearing. There's that. This one and the another one, so right there, will just produce iron pipes. And because of that, we'll need steel plates, and so for that, we'll need to cut this off. I'll have to redo this split point here. Actually, it might be easier if we just bring the iron back up to there. And let's rotate that around like that. And we do that. There we go. Get the iron flowing again. And now we can put inserters there and there. These guys need power now. So now we have kind of the 2 basic needs we need for our engine. So there, 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 and there. We can put a power line into there. So now we can see here we got plenty of each. We can always put more in if need be. And let's go ahead. We need to create at least probably 4 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we gotta figure out how to get steel over here. Steel's gonna be a little bit bigger of an issue to try to get over here. I mean, really we're just creating it here. So it's not like we'll have to go maybe underground and maybe run it through here somewhere. It's kind of the idea, at least. 2, 3, and 4. So this guy is going to create. We'll start out with 2 to see if these guys can keep up with that, and we'll see after that. What we could do actually is run this underground here as much as we can. I don't know how much we're going to be able to run underground here, but do there, and then we can go to there. That'll give us a little bit more flexibility of what, because this can be our out as well, so that's where we're trying to get to. So put it out there, there, and there. Actually, you know what we could do? I'm just trying to think how I want to do the steel here. It's gonna be a little bit tricky, but I think if I cross it, if I cross it here, run. Actually, I don't need that piece right there. If I run it down this way. Where do I need to put this for that to work? I need to put it right where the iron line is, and that's not going to work. There go. Oh, it's like, why is this not working? That's probably why right there. All right, there we go. So we get the iron back going that way. Now I gotta figure out. I can run. Oh, that's an issue. We'll have to get the longer extenders over here. Okay. All right, that works then. So now we can run our iron, or sorry, steel, along this way. There we go. Now these inserters don't have power. So there we go. Now we can... Why is that... Oh, say, why is that not working? Because it does needs the regular inserters. Now we're creating the engines now. Now, if we can output them there and there... There we go. So now we can get engines going that way. So let's do this. We'll bring... Do actually that. Inserter there and there. Have this guy start producing engines. To one there anyways. Actually get rid with that, so that's good. And then we need a way out on this guy. Actually need to rotate that around there. So there we go. Now we're producing. We got 3 of these guys going now. So let's get some speed. You know what? I wonder if our speed modules have actually created anything up here. Come to think of it, kind of a little bit of a callback from the our kind of original idea here. Yes, this would be. We've created 1. Why have we only created 1? Because this guy's not producing enough. Copper wiring. That's exactly why. We need to create another copper wiring area, maybe. Because it almost sounds like we just need to make production areas for every little thing in this game. Because that's it's a bit of a shame. I figured we would have more by now. Alright, well. Where's the closest copper plate area? Right here. Can we run one over, just over to here? I bet you we can. Alright, so let's do that, because it is an issue. So, you know, we can actually do a bunch of repair packs for those worker ones. Let's do that. Well, let me run down there and put those guys, or get those guys some repair packs so they can work on stuff like that. Where is my worker bots at? Or my construction bots at? Oh, they're actually, oh, they stack. Oh, I didn't know they stacked. Oh, that makes it a lot easier. Now they can go out and actually repair stuff. Cool. Alright. And actually, that might not be the worst idea to actually do something like that at the remote bases, too. Idea for next time. Let's get these... Let's get another copper wiring place going. Just so that we can produce as many speed packs as we want. Alright, hold on. Let's see, copper... Right here is where we'll have to bring it. Can we put it right... I wonder if we can put it right here. Hold on. Put it right there. That means we have to bring the copper. If we need one of these split it. Do something like that, though. Run that along here. Turn it. I actually need to do it one more. I need to bring it right there. So in that case, I need to bring it to there, and I need one more. Bridge that gap there. There we go. So now it's bringing that across to there. Push that in there. This guy is just going to create copper wiring. And now we've got to get it across there. We need to go underneath first. something like that. 1, 2, and output there. Really, I just turn this to the right and do that. There. So now this thing should have plenty of copper wiring. We shouldn't have to. We shouldn't run out anytime soon. You know, let's put the speed module into that machine just so that we can kind of speed up the process, literally. How many does it need to make a... it needs 5, I think, maybe? Let me look. It needs 5. No, it needs 4. So it needs 1 more. And what we can do, we'll just kind of put it in there, at least for this one. We might... Yeah, do we put these 2... I'm just trying to speed up this process a little bit just so that we can get, like, the engine production up. We can get our, everything else going a little bit faster. Just that we can keep research going a little bit better. We can keep production going quicker. You know, I even got a water while I was upstairs and forgot to drink it. I'll drink a little bit of it. All right. So it still looks like what's the issue is these guys here. It's starting to run low on wiring still, but a lot better than it was. Why don't I just throw a stack of circuits in there? I don't know. Because these guys are producing way more than they need. Which really, in that case, what I should do is bring this over to here and just have these 2 feed another belt that has all those on it. Maybe. We're running a little low on time right now, so I'll take what I can get right now. Alright, another speed module. We'll put that into there. As a matter of fact, what we can do, this kind of neat thing about that, we can just recycle those 2, make another speed module. Kind of neat. So we can actually replace all of our speed modules with level 2s, take the old level 1s, bring them over here to actually convert them into level 2s. It's kind of neat. I kind of like systems like that, where you actually can, where when you upgrade parts, it doesn't necessarily mean that the old parts are kind of useless, which I kind of like. So out of here, we'll grab our next speed module. Go throw that in there. Throw that in there, and there we go. We're producing more speed modules. Kind of nice self-feeding system. It's kind of nice. We might need to put another speed module building place up too, but that'll have to be probably next episode because we got plenty of advanced circuits. Look at all this. I'm glad I did that because now we can just produce as much as we want and not have to worry about it. These are actually even backed up a little bit, which is awesome. What we might actually do, just to keep our production going, let's go ahead and build a chest. I've already got a basic... oh, that's actually a little too close there. Already have kind of the basic... Oh, that's too far. Grab that circuit right there. Let's just do it all this side then. Try to save a little bit of room. We'll start having them slowly pick these up. I don't want them to pick up... I could have a fast one there easily, but I figured it would be a little bit better if we just had a basic one there, so we don't have to worry... Like, we don't have to worry about this guy taking up so many that no one else gets any. So now we have a couple speed modules. We can actually run back over to our engine facility here, which I think... He actually has a 1. Do that. Let's throw both those in there and just get that guy going a little bit faster. And even with the new kind of upgrades to our speed module area, we actually can use that We actually can put those into like our copper refinery so that we can get more copper going and all that good stuff too. And I'm pretty sure even our even our crafters have stuff we can, so we can really get our place going. It's going to cost us more power, but we have. You see here, let's look at our fuel rods are even starting to stack up on both sides now. So I'm okay with using a little more power because that means we just have to go nuclear even more, which is kind of neat. But I think if we actually added, if we could get just more, another assembly machine going over here, just get another speed module going and things like that, we might. Because I also have to start doing, I know for the purple beakers, we have to start using, I think, one of the productivity modules, which actually is not bad. It's kind of the same idea, just a little, different set of stuff. So I might just revamp this line a little bit and have all three of these pump out to another conveyor belt, probably on this end here. Have them all travel down this way, and then another, like a productivity module can be placed there, just so that we can create those for our purple beakers. We actually have another one. Let's run this over to our engine facility. I don't see any new engines being produced down here. Every once in a while, I'll see them. They're slowly starting to trickle in. But that does speed them up quite a bit. And these guys can more than enough take care of the engine components here. So that is a good thing. I don't need that guy then. Then we can use this guy. Yeah, I think it's a productivity module. Yes, it is a productivity module that we need. So we actually can really, well, I really don't want to start right this second, but yeah, we can place it down there just for now. And then, what else? There was something else I wanted to do while I was over here. I don't remember what it was. Great! I don't remember. That's kind of sad. It's like I just kind of blanked out there. But we'll get this last speed module in. And then we can actually get, hopefully get more. Oh, hold on. We're starting to run a little low on circuits now. Get rid of that guy for now. Have those guys just start cranking out as much or many as they can. Looks like oil-wise we're still doing good, so I'm not too concerned about that. There we go. The last speed module, we'll get that going. We can also upgrade our uranium refinery with these things too. Bunch of possibilities we can do with this setup. That's another issue though. We're actually out of steel. Our steel production is abysmal at best. I'll be honest with you. It might be better for us to actually create... Well, actually, you know what? We have a bunch of them already. Why don't we just create another line of steel production? Need... 2, 3. We'll need a couple more of those. There we go. So now we kind of doubled our iron production in just a roll. I mean, if you have all the materials, doing stuff like this is not that hard to do. Where else are we putting? We're taking iron to. I think we might just be bringing it down here. So if that's the case, that makes it pretty easy. I mean, all we have to really, actually, we don't even need a tunnel. We just need to do this. Bring power over here. Turn that to there, and there we go. So now we've doubled our. We actually want to put one more down because why not? So why do we have all this water here? Oh, that's probably why. Wait, if I hit undo, will my little robots then come in? Yeah, it looks like they do. It's actually kind of cool. There we go. I just want to get that going again because I'm pretty sure that's the one that goes up to our nuclear reactors. Could be wrong about that, but go. We need 2 more of those guys. We'll need 1 more conveyor there. Also, now I'm starting to notice though that our I get a lot of iron over here, which I guess what I can do is just kind of manually, actually we'll do that. Just so that I don't have to use another power thing. Might start creating more iron. I know we're producing a lot, but we're splitting a lot of it off in different areas. We actually get our power armor finished now. Let's actually get our speed up on our robots. Why not? So this power armor, what do I need? I need processing units and electrical engine units. Let's see if we have any electrical engine units, because I highly doubt we do. But we'll see. Pretty much all of them went into there. Let's actually do this. Let's do an out. Just iron chest plate there. So I'm kind of curious what this power armor looks like. And that'll probably be the last thing we do this episode, but it shouldn't be that hard. We need some processing units too, which I think we should have a pretty good abundance of up here. At least I hope. I really don't need that many, but we'll see. Yeah, we got plenty of them. As a matter of fact, we can split that in half. Like that one. Now we're starting to run a little low on our the advanced circuitry. That's usually not good. Like it's starting to come to a point where actually we're using a little bit more. We can always add another one though. It's not like that's kind of the neat thing about stuff like this is the way I have it set up. We can easily add more, but also we're running low on copper again. Well, that's not great. I'm going to go ahead and manually feed all these guys so that we can kind of boost that production just for a little bit. What I guess we could do is actually get speed modules for the copper stuff. We can produce more, because I think we got copper ore flowing pretty good. But, yeah, that's not bad. So we have a lot of stuff we can do next episode. We can do some upgrades to our copper facilities. We have a new oil line we want to put in. And so there's quite a few stuff that we're going to be able to do next time. It looks like we might even have to add more advanced circuitry makers because it doesn't look like these guys are producing these fast enough. So let's run down here. Let's throw this in there. They can start boosting that up again. We might not have enough to create all the engines that we need. How much do we need? We need 20 of them. It'll be close. What's the other thing we need? Oh, we need the advanced circuits, which we already got. Cool. So while we wait on that, we have about 5 minutes left, so I'm not too concerned about this. How many speed modules do we have? We have 6 actually ready. Let's run these down here. Doop and doop and doop. So hopefully we can get these going a little bit faster, even if they're like 20% faster. That'll be nice. Power-wise, though, how are we doing? We're still doing fine on power, so not too concerned about that right at the moment. That's one thing, though. It's like as long as you have the power for it, it's like, why does it matter? You know, what you need, or it doesn't really matter. It's like if you have enough power, you can pretty much boost anything like that. But I think we really do need to start looking at maybe actually boosting both our copper mining and our copper processing, because I think that's kind of two things we're kind of lacking right now, and it's starting to be a little bit of an issue. That one's actually completely out, so let's actually... I also noticed that I'd never connected this one to a conveyor belt, this mine over here. So that's an issue. So let's go ahead and just actually get those powered up, and then we can get those going there. I'm missing one right there. There we go. Let's go take a look at our engine production over here. Or at least our electrical engine production. 8, so I think we're at 15 now. I think we're All right, to 16 now. I think we need it. We need looks like maybe 3 more engines. I don't think I have that many on me. So I would say not. Let's see here. So can we pick up 3 really quick? Well, it's like, hold on, a stone mine ran out. That's interesting. All right, but we're actually using quite a bit of iron, or quite a bit of stone now, with the wall construction and things like that. So, where was that at that I was looking for? Shoot, where was that at? Where's my engine components? Is what I'm looking for. Couldn't remember what exactly what I was thinking of for a moment. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Is any of them back? Yeah, so we're starting to back up a little bit, so that's good. It means we're producing more than we need. Same with electrical, or the advanced components we're still kind of iffy on, but that might be next episode we actually upgrade, we do a little bit of an upgrade to there as well. So there is that, so we need 2 more. I put 3 in there, so should have that here momentarily. Also let's try to see if there's any more speed modules we have. Got 2 in there. Let's actually just load that one up. So if we can continue making more speed modules, we won't have to worry about, hopefully we won't have to worry about producing much else. You can see here, they're starting to lack a little bit. Let's see, what else? So waiting on more and more of these things. We're waiting on these things, which means are we having issues again producing enough copper? Kind of looks like it. Let's do what I did last time. Load that down with whatever we need. Alright, worker robot speed up. Let's go ahead and do some more weapon. We'll complete weapon shooting because that won't take us too long. And then once we get this last speed module done, I'll pick that up, drop it off at the advanced circuitry maker, and we'll go create our power armor and call it a stream. Because we've done a lot in this episode, which is really kind of neat. So there's that. So let's go run this down to here. We'll have all of our all these guys powered up to as fast as they can be, which with the copper wiring situation, which I think is really more just the copper plate situation, which will have to be rectified next stream. Alrighty, so that should be our last couple of engines. We can actually now build our power armor. Yay, we got power armor. Well, we got power armor coming. It's almost done. Yeah, so guys, next time I think we'll have to start doing our oil line. We'll probably have to start with the copper situation, just to try to get that solved so that we can keep producing as much as we need to. It's a little bit of an issue right now. Logistics. Oh yeah, we can actually have personal logistics. So if we want to add stuff to our items, we can. Let's go ahead and do it. Power armor. There we go. So we got a lot more slots now. I think it looks the same, but if you look now, we got a lot more slots for batteries and some other upgrades as well. We can do things like exoskeletons. We can increase movement speed. That might be pretty cool. Personal robot port. That'll be useful. Night vision, I'm not really concerned about. Those two would be really nice to have. And this is an energy shield. We'll have to look at all these. We'll have to create a bunch of solar panels just to keep it all powered. So let's go ahead and save the game, guys. I'll save it there. I'm going to go ahead and pop over to the main camera. Guys, thank you for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. If you guys are interested in more content from me, best thing you can do is actually leave a follow. We're up to 46 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken. Or not subscribers, followers. Misspoke there. We're only 4 away from that 50 follower goal, and if you guys haven't heard yet, we want to do a special fireworks celebration at Thunder Lake for it. We also want to do a naming ceremony, do a couple things like that in there. So if you guys want to see that, we're trying to get there before the end of the year, and so we're only 4 away, so we're that close, but we only have, what, 7 weeks left? So we're getting kind of towards crunch time, but I'm pretty sure we can get 4 more people to subscribe in that time. Anyways, guys, this is going to be it for me today. If you are new here, I should say that. If you are new here, I really do appreciate you joining me today. I usually do stream 2 times a week, every Wednesday and Friday, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's usually my schedule for right now. It might change a little bit here later on. I know with the holidays coming up, usually I might do a Black Friday stream this year. That would be kind of fun to do as well. We'll see about that one, though. But for now, guys, stay safe out there. Have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you on Wednesday for some more Planet Coaster. I can already tell you right now, we're going to continue working on our entrance for the park. Actually, really more of a revamp for the entrance. We already had a nice entrance, but it needed some updating. So I'll see you guys then. Hopefully, you guys will join me then. But for now, guys, I'll see you later.